40 years ago, when I was only 11 years old, something horrible happened in my town. The incident in question included a government cover-up and my hometown being erased from all maps. Anyway, it all began on July 4th, 1982, during my hometown's annual Independence Day Parade. It was sweltering hot that day, and the whole town was in attendance. Although the parade was fun, the only thing on my mind were firecrackers. Anyway, before I continue my story, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my town. Surrounded by dense forest, it is located near Lake Tahoe with a population of just over 1,000. It has one stoplight, a post office, a grocery store, and several restaurants scattered throughout town. It was a quaint little town where everyone knew everyone, and where you could have raised a family. It was also a pit stop for those venturing into Lake Tahoe. Anyway, where was I? Oh, I remember. As the festivities began to wind down and people were leaving, out of nowhere came this really loud boom, which was immediately followed by a very bright flash of light from the nearby forest. You could imagine the chaos that ensued as the state police began to descend upon my hometown to investigate the mysterious boom. Several days after the incident, I woke up to find my whole town covered in this dust-like substance. The dust-like substance had a very weird texture and smelled pungent too. I noticed too that the people who handled the mysterious dust began to fall ill. Naturally, the theories began to swirl about the dust. Eventually, we all agreed that the dust probably came from outer space. Anyway, I forgot to mention that it was around this time that some of the townspeople began to slowly change and become what we survivors called the infected ones. No longer human, the infected ones were these grotesque-looking creatures with multiple arms, legs, and eyes, covering their bodies like Nemesis from Resident Evil. The dust was somehow causing them to mutate into something hideous. We also learned that the infected ones preferred to hunt at night, and if you were either bitten or scratched by one, you'll become one too. Eventually, a group of scientists from all over was brought in to study the infected ones until they too were infected. Even the military and CDC were brought in, but to no avail. Anyway, a large fence was placed around the perimeter of the town, and the remaining survivors were placed under quarantine. It was hard to see all of these people in hazmat suits walking around town. What was even harder, though, was seeing all the people you love slowly turn into grotesque creatures. Over time, we learned to adapt to our new surroundings. Since we were not allowed to leave, supplies were often flown in. The supplies were then dropped off in a designated area located in the center of town. Sometimes, the noise of the plane excited them, so we always had to hurry. They also were evolving and are smarter. Anyway, the reason why I'm telling you all of this is because about a week ago, we were finally rescued. During our rescue, something went wrong, and one of the infected ones somehow managed to escape. Now, the whole world is in danger. You see, just one bite and everybody is infected, so please be prepared because they're coming for us all.